Hey, welcome to Mullen Stock. If you are new to the channel, be sure to subscribe to the channel and turn on post notifications by hitting the bell so you never miss any of our uploads. And also remember that this is not a financial advice video. Now let's start. I'm going to give you a good overview of the data points, what shorts are doing, and some expectations for today. So I'm going to go over all that. So it is down 0.5% pre-market. And it did actually touch that 50-cent mark at the very beginning of the pre-market. As you can see, bounced off of that trending higher a little bit. But there was some abnormal transactions I just want to share with you, one of which was this. So 110,000 shares was bought. So most likely that was a short, returning some shares. And coincidentally, if you look right here, in total, so far, pre-market shorts have returned 119.57K shares. So of course, going over here, there were some other shares that were most likely returned as well. But it's kind of interesting. I think it's been several months, in fact, that shorts haven't been returning pre-market. Rather, they've just been increasing almost every single day, hundreds of thousands of shares. So today is kind of an interesting thing, especially maybe it bouncing off of that 50-cent mark more on a technical standpoint. This is why they are maybe returning shares. Who knows, 18.69% of the free flow is being shorted, 38.53 million shares overall being shorted, still on the threshold list. Cost of borrow average is currently 147.19% as well. So again, it's going to be a very interesting day because as of right now, the time of doing this video, there is no press releases, no SEC filings, nothing along those lines. So the day is just going to make up, for the most part, just sentiment and technicals. And of course, based on the technicals, this is the next big support. So $0.50. So it did bounce off of that once. We'll see if it does get retested once again. But I do feel that a lot of investors' patience are running thin because there's been a lot of good catalysts over the last little bit, a lot of good PR, because even if you look at a lot of the news that's been coming out, a lot of which is generally fairly good for any company. Just, unfortunately, when it comes down to Mullen, they have a lot of dilution that's been happening, and no matter what news has been coming out, it's just been trending down as a result of that. So once again, that's just my own interpretation. I'm not a financial advisor. You guys do your own due diligence. But once again, I feel that over the last several weeks, a lot of people have been taking a step back from Lawrence, especially those that do believe in Mullen fundamentally, and started to look once again at the actual operation. And it does look like Mullen itself on the website did update the Newgate page. So of course I think that might be a pretty good thing. I don't believe there's been any sales of the Mullen Go, though, which is kind of unfortunate. And keep in mind, Newgate is very similar just to equivalently Randy Marion. So they're just more so the middleman. So again, it is what it is. But it would be really good to see, for instance, more PR on the Mullen Go because in theory, based on the price point and the range, and again the range I think is satisfactory for Europe and the designated area, I feel that there could be a lot of good opportunity for the Mullen Go. But once again, definitely I think it needs to be backed by Mullen, have a lot more PR and as well with Newgate. But still, no matter what though, I think people starting to focus on the day-to-day operation is a lot more important than focusing on a lot of the drama. And the next big thing, of course, is going to be in July of 2023, when the M3 is going to be actually kicked off for production and so forth. So definitely I think that's going to be a fairly good thing for Mullen Bulls. But at the back of everyone's mind right now is compliance because this came out, as you can see, on May the 18th, and it does say that they've been trading above $1 for 10 consecutive trading days. And based on this, the Rule 5810 it looks like they are trying to say is satisfactory to the deficiency. But it does say right here, as of May 17, 2023, the Mullen stock price has traded above $1 for 10 consecutive business days, and the company awaits confirmation from the NASDAQ that it meets NASDAQ requirements for continued listing as a result thereof. So of course, the company is still awaiting confirmation from the NASDAQ, and based on this looking on their website, they are still technically deficient. So right down here, so again, it has the original known state of 2022, September the 7th. But outside of that though, if you look on the NASDAQ rules, of course, this is where everyone focuses on the whole 10 consecutive days. But it does say up to staff's discretion that they could potentially raise it and extend it to 20 days. And as of right now, especially with it at $0.50 or now $0.51 or whatever it is, then definitely it's not been trading for 20 consecutive days over obviously the $1 mark. So not necessarily the best thing. And if my math is correct, Based on it being below the $1 mark for 30 consecutive days, I do believe that the Nasdaq might serve them with another notice right before July the 4th. So I believe on July the 3rd. So again, that's just something that you need to kind of keep in mind. It looks like the market is going to be opening in roughly around 40 seconds or so. But still, I think at this stage, a lot of people and just muln investors need a little bit more clarity on what exactly is going to allow them to have. Obviously, compliance. There's a whole nother reverse stock split need to happen. And that's one common thing that people have been asking because of it being approved based on the last shareholder meeting. Does that mean that they can do as many as they see fit, similar to what's happening with dilution? And unfortunately, that isn't the case. So they do have to get another vote for a reverse split. And again, definitely you have to watch how many times you do a reverse split, because it even states right here. Excessive reverse splits in here as well, though it does say roughly around a 25-to-1 kind of ratio or 250-to-1 ratio. So I don't think muln, at the extent that they're really talking on that, would be big red flag. But still at this stage, if muln does go down to OTC, potentially that is kind of death for a lot of stocks, meaning a lot of institutions cannot invest in OTC companies. So you'd see a lot of institutions selling their shares of muln. Over and above that, I think there's only been roughly about 2 or 3 successful cases of company getting delisted that actually is able to regain compliance and go back to the Nasdaq. So again, if muln ever does get delisted, it kind of put them in a very difficult scenario. So of course, I know a lot of people are saying, well, reverse stock split is coming. I think they might be just saying that jokingly, I'm not sure. But in reality, it might become necessary because of course both scenarios are crappy. Getting delisted versus reverse stock split. Both are very bad options, but which one is the better of the two? And of course, to do a reverse split is probably the better of the two, unfortunately. But of course, that's just my own thoughts. And it looks like right now it is down 2.41%, so most likely we'll be retesting the 50-cent mark. So it'll be very interesting to see if it can actually hold. Guys, that's all we have for you today. What is your opinion about muln stock? Get involved and let us know in the comments down below. Thank you for watching.